The Leo and Danny Show.
Can I ask you guys this? Because sometimes when I'm doing the YouTube thing, I ask myself if I could do it all over again. Most people get into comedy right after college. That seems to be the most common stand-up age. I ask myself if I could go back to being 23, have my diploma and my cap on my head, freshly walking off the UCLA campus, would I go down the YouTube path, or would I start hitting open mics and do the LA stand-up scene, the real way of doing comedy, the pedigreed, normal stand-up path? I ask myself that, and I go back and forth on it. What's your guys' take on what you see happening on YouTube? These YouTube personalities coming up that are quote-unquote comedians, but who don't do stand-up. They just have a podcast where they make $100,000 a month on Patreon, or they do a Blue Chew ad for fucking $20,000 a pop on their main channel videos. How do you guys see that, and do you have any regret about doing the stand-up circuit as opposed to this?
Well, I don't think there's a clear path, in any way, but there's certain comics that did both, started doing both, and mastered both. Trevor Wallace is a great example.
Trevor Wallace is he's a good comedian, and he masters the YouTube game too.
But he had to put that time in live stand up to also build that.
Right.
Then there's you guys, for example, who already have an audience, who your shows are your people a lot of times.
But what's your opinion on that?
Already know your voice. Personally, I was such a big fan of stand-up. When I watched YouTube, I was watching stand-ups. So I synced it as the same thing.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm a way bigger fan of stand-up than I am of watching YouTubers.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just a business decision that I can reach a lot more people on the YouTube platform versus if I'm going and playing cloudy bars where there are 20 disinterested people.
Sure. I guess I was more interested in that immediate response. The
Laughter.
immediate laughter, the immediate acceptance almost.
I almost felt like...
Could you give out in the mic? No.
I almost felt like, with my opinion on that shit, it's kind of... For comics who get too prideful on stand-up, and when they get too like, fuck that, man, they're ruining the game. Damn, they're coming in. They don't understand the grind.
Is that how a lot of comics talk?
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not talking about the accent. I'm talking about, is that the sentiment?
Yeah. It's like, man, they don't understand the grind, man.
They're fucking up the grind.
Fucking shit. I have to fucking wash dishes and wipe assholes, dude. He has to at least wipe one asshole before he gets to what I did. All these things, and everyone has a different path. I've always told stand-ups to get the fuck over themselves. No one's. You're not gonna grow a business with just your fucking voice talking just your perspective for years and years to come, especially just off stand-up. You better be on some fucking movies and doing some other shit that excites people to the point where they want to where they want to hear your voice. You're not just gonna be imposing. I've been doing stand-up for 30 years and that's all I've been doing. Is like, you've been annoying people for fucking 20. We liked your first 10. Now you've just been talking for the fucking rest 20. And it's like, I'm telling I always tell comics, get into acting, get into the fucking YouTube. If you meet someone who's doing YouTube and he wants to do your show, put him on your fucking show. Learn something from the dude. Don't fucking start commenting like, man, I mean, of course, maybe they're not gonna last in the stand-up game. Yeah, you know what I mean? Maybe they are just in it to just take a little dip and that's it. But fuck it, dude.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah, keep an open mind.
What if a stand-up comic is dabbling in human trafficking? Try that too.
No, don't do that.
That struck a chord with Renee. That struck a chord. What do you know about human trafficking, Renee?
I know nothing.
It's a good side hustle. You were talking about those earlier.
I gotta ask, maybe you don't have to name names, or if you want to, but if you ever have any big comedians come in there and just rip lines in the back, or get some hookers into the green room or anything like that.
I'm definitely not gonna mention any names on that, but we definitely see like comics get in there.
Big comics.
Big comics with the cocaine and like especially like when you see them in your home club and you're comfortable there, and it's one of those things where you just see it and you're like, I assumed it the whole time. Like, those comics that you're like, yeah, this guy does it, or you'll usually also hear it from other comics, like, man, when he comes, he's gonna do a lot of coke or something like that. So you're like, when you see that, like, it's gonna happen or something like that. But I've never been like shocked. Have I been influenced and then have I dabbled in it? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because when especially when it's like a let's just say, for example, this is one big name I went on the road with. I didn't go on the road with him, but he he was on the show out while I was on the road, and he put out some coke, and I was just like, and he asked me if I wanted some. I was like, yeah, I'll do something.
Yeah, of course, man.
Mexican.